Hello and welcome back to the Cesspool podcast, where we talk about everything and anything, no matter how disgusting or offensive. This is our 12th episode, and we'll still be introducing ourselves. I'm your co-host Tyler with my other co-host Joseph.
Today we'll be talking about the AMC, hedge funds, meme stockholders, and a ton of other business and entertainment areas.
Yes.
So our first article, or pretty much our main topic where we're going to kind of veer off of from, is the AMC's bet by the hedge fund unravels thanks to meme stockholders. So the AMC is actually, as of right now, is 15.39% up in their stock prices. And so essentially what happened is the Mudrick Capital Management LP was like one of the largest hedge fund companies to fall victim to the swarming day traders, or these, quote unquote meme stock traders. And so Mudrick pretty much had a lost like 10% of apparently their flagship, or like a huge amount of money in just a few days, since AMC stock price unexpectedly kind of went higher than it should have been. So as it was pretty much what happened. It's like the same thing as GameStop essentially. And
Hmm.
so I'm reading this directly off the article. So on June 1st, AMC disclosed that Mudrick Capital had agreed to buy $230.5 million of new stock directly from the company at $27 $27.12 a piece, a premium over where it was then traded. Mudrick immediately sold the stock at a profit, a quick flip that was reported by Bloomberg News and that sparked backlash on social media. Mudrick didn't stab AMC in the back, they shot themselves in the foot, read one post on Reddit's Wall Street Bets forum on June 1st. Other posts around the time referenced Mudrick as losers, scumbags, and a large waving pile of shit with no future. Members of the forum urged each other to buy and hold. Instead, Mudrick executives were growing apprehensive as the AMC rally gained steam. This firm risk committee met on the evening of June 1st after the stock closed at $32 and decided to exit all debt and derivative positions of the following day. So that's a mouthful and a ton of drama. So essentially, what happened was, well, we all know about what happened in GameStop, right? Like everyone wanted to buy stocks as a joke, which essentially created this. Well, it's not a bubble, right? Is it a bubble?
It
Because
was
it's
like an
not.
artificial,
Yeah,
artificial
yeah. It
demand.
was. Yeah, they made just for the memes. Essentially, they bought so much stock that the stock shot up, and apparently in for Mudrick Capital's position, they were expecting their price to, like the AMC's stock prices, to drop like a lot at that specific week they were buying it.
They're
But
trying to
apparently,
short sell, basically.
yeah, exactly. Except what happened was Reddit, or the Redditors, decided to buy a ton of like what's it called, ton of stock essentially
Hmm.
to push it up. So we talked about this a while back, but uh, I forget what we talked about and like what I should not talk about. But essentially, so hedge funds use this. They don't always use this, but it's like a big thing where it's like these very big companies short sell and a big company. Essentially, they pressure or encourage other stockholders to start selling, and not only does the hedge fund short selling decrease the stock price, but because of their influence, everyone around them will also sell, which makes it double, not double, but it makes it more insured essentially that that specific company is gonna fail, right?
Hmm.
So what happens is these redditors did the exact opposite of instead of feeling influenced by this big company and selling because they trust this hedge fund, they buy and they do the exact opposite, essentially not helping the hedge fund but doing exactly opposite of what they're doing.
Right.
um yeah, which kind of, makes the hedge funds kind of lose business and go bankrupt. Essentially, what happened GameStop as well is pretty much that.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the same. It's bad PR. It's not a good business practice, honestly. But people, well, the thing. Okay, actually, now that I think about it, with GameStop, it wasn't that a company like was originally trying to screw them over. The GameStop thing just like happened. That there
Yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't like in reaction to someone, uh, like short selling or a company
Well, yeah,
short
they
selling.
they just wanted to do it because of pure nostalgia, and they didn't realize that there was a ton of hedge fund companies that were, betting on them losing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that I mean that's a big thing. I mean, I think now that was like it wasn't an accident. It was more like the redditors or the internet trollers or meme. I don't know what they call people. Like we just know they're normal people, but like on like media, like they just call them like either trolls or like meme stockholders. I mean, they are memeing, but like essentially some of them are taking this quite seriously. So um for GameStop situation, they didn't really realize or like they were gonna affect the hedge fund people. I At least as of what I know, they weren't actually trying to do it in spite of the hedge funds.
Right.
But I think they're starting like the Wall Street people and now the normal people, like everyday person is now kind of beefing over like the stock stuff now because now the Wall Street people are like, "Yo, stop screwing with our business," and the everyday person people are just like, "Yeah, we're just gonna fuck with you because we can."
Yeah,
And
it's funny.
so yeah, I mean, not only is it funny, it's kind of uh that essentially that Robin Hood thing, right? It's like you steal from the rich and give to the poor, or pretty much giving it to yourself, but it kind of balancing the economic gap
Right.
essentially, right? So a lot of these people have different reasons for being on Reddit and doing this. Like some people do it purely for the memes. Other people do it for like serious like capital ventures, and others just do it because they want to piss off the rich, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, do you think this is gonna keep going? Because honestly,
Like
I
in
don't.
different companies.
Yeah, like where they just keep battling essentially.
Uh,
Because like these companies become battlefields essentially, right?
yeah. I probably. I think
Like
so.
I don't know, like because like I never actually saw what happened for like GameStop, so I don't know what the reason specifically was. Some people say it was like a meme or like pure nostalgia.
Well,
So
there
do
was a
you?
guy like on Reddit who
Mhm,
started the GameStop thing,
mhm,
um, and like people actually believed him, and now it didn't really work out. Honestly, it was funny
mhm.
for a while because it was ridiculously high, but it was completely artificial. It wasn't, that the company was actually that valuable. It was making that much money or whatever. It's really not. It's honestly a failing business,
Yeah,
and yeah, but like AMC is not in that situation at all. They're incredibly successful. They make a ton of money. Uh, they're
I think they're failing now is only because of COVID,
well,
and
maybe
that
the
thing is.
movie. Well, like maybe the movie theater part of the company, but you have to remember they have a lot of shows. They have network television. They have streaming
Mhm.
service. It's not. I don't think the overall parent company is really struggling at all.
Okay, yeah, I see, I see.
But
Then I'm
yeah,
wondering why would these hedge funds start betting against these people? Like, right?
I don't
Like if
know.
they're not, because like GameStop is like usually hedge fund is so risky because of short selling has no limit,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like if you start losing and that stock keeps going higher, you're gonna lose like, you don't know how much you're gonna lose, but you have to pay that much. And that's why I feel like hedge funds like really bet against like a company if they know it's gonna fail. So I mean we don't know what AMC is doing right now, so we don't know too much, but we knew that GameStop was like it's already a dying company.
Yeah, yeah,
Even
well, yeah,
we knew.
exactly.
Yeah, even we knew that. So like essentially when they start short selling, it was obvious that like they're gonna die soon. So it's a smart business idea to do that. So I don't know if we fully know the full picture because I know that hedge funds probably know more than us essentially about what's happening in the inside. So I mean, does AMC's like other like in this parts of like their company make a lot of money though?
Yeah.
Like their streaming service, like
Oh yeah.
AMC
They have
streamings.
like they have like The Walking Dead. They've made Breaking Bad. I mean, they have incredibly valuable properties, very very valuable IPs, and yeah, no, they make plenty of money. Trust me.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that. The first thing that just comes up is the fear of the Walking Dead.
Yeah, they have like three Walking Dead shows.
Ooh, they
They
have Gangs of London.
Yeah, Breaking Bad. I think they did Mad Men. I don't remember exactly, but they did like a lot of very popular shows that made a ridiculous amount of money,
Yeah.
or are currently making a ridiculous amount of money. So
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah.
I don't yeah, 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 I can see that. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I'm seeing like a ton of Walking Dead though.
Mm-hmm.
Just a
Yeah.
ton of that because of, it makes a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's surprising. I didn't know AMC had a streaming service.
Yeah. I mean,
That's pretty cool. I honestly thought that AMC was dying before you told me it wasn't.
no.
So, hmm, interesting. And also, like, not only that, like, the movie industry or like, overall entertainment industry is slowly coming back since COVID is becoming less of an issue.
Right.
So yeah, AMC is coming bigger than ever. I just don't understand why hedge funds would like bet against them though, right? Because like if you think logically, even if they were failing and everything else, like entertainment wise, like everything is coming back, which means AMC will have their audience back and their movies back, which means they should get their normal amount of money or even more, like coming in.
Right. Yeah. I don't really know what happened. Um, where they had to. It is an interesting choice to try to screw a company over. I don't know why they were like, yeah, no, this is the one, guys. Like they go to the people in the boardroom. And they're like, all right, we got like five failing businesses, and then AMC is also on the board, and they're like, okay, well, no, not GameStop. I'm trying to think of failing businesses. I don't know. I don't know what a failing business is. I'm really bad at this example. Okay, let's look at an actually dead company. All right, we got like Radio Shack. No, no, we're not gonna kill the. Actually, I don't even know if they're. Okay, this analogy is not going anywhere.
Yeah, just like yeah, pretend that I
Kodak.
know. Yeah.
It's Kodak. They're like, okay, we can do Kodak or AMC. What do we do, guys? Hmm. That's
We
a
just
tough one. That's a tough one, Jim. One of
yeah,
them is worth nothing and dying, and the other one is a
is kind of
multi-million
surviving.
dollar
Yeah.
multi-million dollar entertainment industry.
Well, again, hedge
Yeah.
funds also have a ton of money, so
Well, I know. I'm yeah.
like they can throw around like big money. So
Hmm.
I mean, I guess they I don't know, like what business idea did you think this was like what world did you think this was gonna work? If you're right and that the AMC was going to, like it's still doing well and it will soon skyrocket back to where it normally is because of
Well, from what
everyone coming.
from what I understand, they were kind of tricking them. Like they were making a profit off the stock, right? Because they were
Mhm.
gonna sell it. like directly after they made the deal to buy it for more money. So like if okay, it says that they bought the stock for $27 and change
Yeah.
uh, per piece, and that's
Hmm.
$230 million worth of stock. So that's a ridiculous amount. That's like 1 million uh, individual stocks, I think. I don't know, not really, something like that. It's not really accurate, but something, general idea. And then they sell it quickly and make stock, and then make money off of that. That was the idea.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, honestly, that's what happened, and they really shouldn't have done that, honestly,
Yeah,
because
the
it,
people here are saying that they screwed themselves over essentially.
yeah, because they short sold. They didn't take the long haul and
Hmm.
potentially make even more money. And that's what
Yeah,
people were like, "What are you doing?"
yeah. They
Oh,
also they tried to hurt AMC by doing that, which is
yeah.
why people were pissed.
Hmm.
Which yeah makes sense.
Yeah, it's a weird. There's a strange scenario. I don't really
Hmm. Because
why.
you can't fathom it. It's like why?
It's strange. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, also we might just be high schoolers that don't
And
know what we're.
yeah, we're just absolutely stupid. I didn't take economics. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Even if I mean I took economics, I still don't know what this means.
I took
So
marketing. Sorry.
yeah, I mean yeah, like I'm assuming these guys know what they're doing. I just from a normal person's perspective, it's just weird odd that you would bet against a company like that. So obviously there's some food for thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you disagree with us, you should comment. Hell yeah. And also, yeah.
uh,
So on the topic of it, AMC and all that.
or just
Just overall, yeah. Just overall
entertainment.
entertainment. Yeah. Like, do you think that's gonna like they're gonna start? Because I know they're releasing like slowly like movies and stuff.
Hmm.
Do you think they're gonna start doing that like a lot faster now since most people are more comfortable with going out now?
If you're talking about like in a theater, yeah,
Yeah.
then
Hmm.
yes. Honestly, and here's the thing, right? Because a lot of people or a lot of companies, they had a lot of time, and a lot of times they actually had a lot of projects on that were already into the editing stage.
Hmm.
So that's why we were able to get a lot of shows and movies still out this past year. The
Yeah.
issue now is going to be actually churning out content for this coming year,
Yeah.
in the following
Because
year, because
everyone is, yeah, because they all
they
recorded everything before COVID and now they're doing it during COVID. But
yeah, so
now
that's
it's
where
like,
it takes a very long time to do.
yeah.
So I feel like it's going to be a little dry in terms of new stuff coming out this coming
Mhm.
year. I know it's already
Yeah.
June, but like, this year into next year, probably it's going to be kind of rough because we're going to be just getting like the footage of a new TV show, but it was filmed like during 2020, when it takes forever to do that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's really going to be the issue, because like if you don't understand how video product or TV or movie production works in COVID, it's incredibly long and slow process, because you have to, like in 2020, uh, obviously you couldn't wear a mask like when you're acting, because it doesn't make sense for the time period or whatever. So like you had to be with the people, you had to quarantine with them. Like if anybody left, you had to start the whole process over again. Um,
Mhm.
and then like yeah, it was very, and then you had to be like, oh well, I'm not in a scene with this person, but then like maybe later in the show or the movie, maybe you are, and then you have to quarantine again, because that was just the rules. That was how it worked. So it was a very long process to actually get stuff done. So that's why, like, okay, let's say I'm trying to think of like a show that people wanted to come out. Um, Name me a show. I don't watch TV or I don't watch stuff. Give me a
I
show.
mean,
Any.
like let's go with the new show that came out, Loki.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Actually, that's fine. Yeah, like that. Okay, they definitely filmed that over the course of this past year,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
I think they talked about it, or they like talked about it happening probably in
Hmm.
2019, and they were like, "Oh, it'll be out in 2020, or like early
Yeah,
2020,
I
or mid
mean, for
2020."
Marvel is a good example of like they record this like way before everything, kind
Hmm.
of happens so that like they have it in stock. It's just they have to release it on that date now,
Yeah, and
which is
that's
yeah.
well, that's the thing. Like this one, they were like, "Oh, we're going to film it at this time and it'll be out." But they weren't really able to do that because of COVID. So they had the production time slowed down in terms of
Yeah.
actually filming things, and that's why we're not getting it until now. Same thing with the oh come, it's a freaking show that's supposed to come out. Stranger Things, that one. Yeah, so that was like supposed to come out like last year or something, and they're like not
Uh-huh.
even done filming it yet or something.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of thing. Like it shows how difficult it can be for some shows. They end up going into like development hell, which is just it's not a fun place to be.
Yeah. I think that's the big issue, right? It's like yeah, cuz like on a set you need so many people.
Yeah,
And it's
and the
like
larger the cast, like then you have to. That's even more people you have to put into account.
exactly. And then when it becomes like an action film, everyone's like close quarters,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's like cramped. Not only that, it's like you have to wear that mask, and because like you do practice and then you do the actual shoot, and even on that actual shoot, you have to repeat it because like you might do a wrong take or you made a
Right.
mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're there all day wearing a mask, or if you're an actor, you don't wear a mask, but you're still in danger of getting COVID.
Right.
So that's what that I mean, not anymore. We have more, most people have got vaccinated, but back then that was the big risk, right? It's like having a lot of people just come over. That's the big issue.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can still get it when you have a vaccine. We're not saying like you're invincible.
You're not.
Yeah, but we're saying that it's less of a risk. It's more of a cold now since we have a vaccine for it. So thankfully, we're not gonna die, but still be careful. Is yeah, pretty much what that is.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? So, I was thinking about movies and TV shows, and I was
Mhm.
looking back at some of the shows that I watched or have watched multiple times, and I was curious. Just this is kind of off topic, but we're talking about movies and TV. Is there a TV show that like you liked so much, or series, whatever, that you liked so much that you watched it like more than let's say twice,
Uh,
or
I mean,
twice if
it's
you
not really like it's an anime. It's not an actual show.
it's a show.
Actually,
What are you talking?
well,
It's a
okay,
show.
no, okay, yeah. Then you don't know what it is, but I watched One Piece, which is like nine. It's still going, but it's like over 900 episodes.
Uh huh.
I went that over twice. Oh yeah, I did watch The Office twice actually. Yeah, I watched The Office twice
Okay.
and Parks and Rec twice. So yeah, those two.
All right. You want to know something weird?
Yeah.
I've never watched either of those shows like all the way through. I've actually I don't know if I've ever actually watched a full episode of either of them. I've only seen like clips on YouTube. I'm really weird.
It's,
And the thing is, right, like I know it's on
mm,
Netflix or whatever, but it's not anymore. It's on the Peacock and I'm never going to get the Peacock. It's not happening. Sorry, NBC. Yeah, that's that I'm weird. I don't watch
I
those.
mean, if it's like, is it like because of you don't want to commit to that to like giving that much energy? Is that it?
No, I don't have a problem with watching shows. I was gonna say like I've watched I don't know how many times, at least three. Well, I finished it twice, but I started it like actually four times and never
Mhm.
finished it. It's a little show you probably don't know. It's called Lost. older people know what it is because it's an older show, but it's about like I can't really explain it, but the very basic premise is that it's about plane crash on an island, and weird stuff happens at the end. But like that show, I've watched. Yeah, I've watched the whole thing twice, and I was thinking about watching it again. Actually, I've started it like with other people multiple times
Yeah.
because I'm like, oh, you gotta watch this. Oh, you gotta watch this. It's so good. And I have mixed opinions on whether it's actually so good anymore. It's good. It gets weird, and then it gets dumb, and then it gets okay, and then it gets stupid. So I don't know, but like that I've probably watched more than any other show, and then like I I'm not 100% caught up with The Walking Dead. I used to like really care about that. I'd be like,
Mhm.
oh, every Sunday, oh boy, and now I just don't. I stopped caring like 3 or 4 years ago.
Mhm.
It was another one of those shows where like I think it went on for so long that it just
Yeah.
became dumb. Like they ran out of ideas, but
I
the
mean,
network is like,
I
oh, you
think
gotta
I
keep
think
going.
I think it's cuz I think a big issue with Walking Dead is cuz it's there's no uh, new idea, I think, right? I mean, I didn't watch it, so I
Uh-huh.
wouldn't know, but the whole premise is like you're running away from zombies, you're fighting zombies, some people die, and the whole premise is just staying on this zombie apocalypse, essentially, right?
Well, for a while, yeah, but like the quote unquote villains of the show are usually like
Yeah, human,
other
and they,
people, right?
yeah.
Yeah. It's really not. It like in the end, it's really not a show about zombies. It's more a
Mhm.
show about like it's about people, really. It's like human interaction, like civilization. What
Mhm.
like
I feel
should
like
we
it's
be
also
civilized?
like
Whatever. Yeah.
I don't know, like for me, dramatic TV shows really drain you mentally. I think that's a big issue.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Like if you drag that on too much, it becomes like, yeah, but like this quote unquote intensity that I felt like for the first 15 episodes is now gone because I know like some of these characters won't die. I know this character will die, and like you know, like you start to lose that attachment because you know they're gonna die.
Hmm.
Like Game of Thrones did this really well in the sense that they made me feel no attachment to any character because I knew a ton of these characters were gonna die, so I didn't have any emotional connection, which means I don't care for the character, and
Right.
where the like there's scenes for specifically for those, you know, to like give them more depth. I'm just like I feel like I'm wasting my time with this character who I already know is going to die.
Yeah. You see, Lost actually did that first.
Mhm.
But it made you care about them because it would do flashbacks where you get their like whole backs. Like the way they did it on Lost was they would have like an episode for each character where it's not
Mhm.
like it's only them, but like it generally like the plot of the episode focuses generally on what that character is doing that day or whatever advances like their part of the story forward. And within that, you would get flashbacks to that character's past, so you understand them better. And then a lot of times they'll die in that
Yeah.
episode or the episode after. It's like, especially if it's not like one of the, there's like a
Isn't
main
wait,
ensemble of maybe 10 people. If they're
yeah,
out of that loop, they're probably gonna die.
TV show. I haven't watched some of these like really big shows.
You
Like
should
Lost I
watch.
didn't
You
watch.
should watch Lost and hate yourself for watching it when you get to the end. But it's worth it for a bit.
Oh wait, this is like the Island
Yeah.
TV show.
Hmm.
Oh wait. Yeah. Like I didn't watch it, but I know about it. Yeah.
You should
I'll
watch it.
definitely watch that.
Yeah, I sometime we should watch the pilot together because it is legitimately considered probably the best TV pilot of all time. That is critical.
Really?
Well, the thing was like at the time it was the most expensive pilot ever made,
Mhm.
and it was very impressive, like technically, especially for the time. It's like 17 years ago. So
Yeah.
um, but yeah, like they actually blew up a plane. They actually tore a plane apart. Like it's really good. It's really really good.
Yeah.
It's a two-part
I
pilot. I
feel
would
like that's
love to do
why.
that.
Yeah. Going back on what you said, where you were talking about like you were watching the Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Sorry, I literally forgot the title.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but you stopped watching it because it was so long. I think like
Well, like
I was watching Breaking Bad.
it wasn't that it was too long. I don't mean to interrupt. I just want to comment real quick.
No, yeah, go
It
ahead.
wasn't that it was too long. It's just they kept doing basically the same thing over and over. It's like, oh, there's a new villain. We have to beat him. Oh, we killed him. On to the next thing. It's like the same thing over and over again, basically. Anyway, what you were saying, yeah.
Yeah, so um yeah, I think that essentially what Breaking Bad did better than Walking Dead is, yeah, like you said, you felt like it was repeating.
Hmm.
Breaking Bad doesn't really do that. It
Yeah.
does it, but I mean, it does kind of repeat, but it repeats with more intensity,
Right.
essentially. And
Hmm.
there's so much drama. Like, I was able to get up to, I think, season 4, and then I stopped because I was like, there's one more season, season 5, but I felt like it was so intense and, like, it mentally made me so tired, I just stopped watching it. Like, it's not even that much long of a TV
It's only
show.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, but like to me, it felt so long because of how dramatic and like how emotionally invested you have to be. And like, I mean, I think that's just personally, I just can't handle too much drama
Uh huh.
like in a TV show. Because like he's killing somebody, he owns like this drug thing that everyone wants, and like not only that, his like brother-in-law is like a cop. Like there's
Right.
so much stuff happening, and I'm just like, it mentally tires me out.
Right.
And like, because like for me, length isn't really the issue. Because like I said, I watched an anime that's over 900 episodes twice. So for me, I think personally, because like I feel emotionally attached to the characters that are in that anime,
Hmm.
but I think they make a good balance between like drama, seriousness, and comedy. So having that good balance helped kind of keep that interest. While
Yeah.
like other ones like Breaking Bad is super gritty. It like jumps into the deep end and it doesn't give you any other options. There's not much any other genre in it except drama.
Yeah. Well, it
So I
is a
think
drama, so.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I think that's a huge flaw if you're trying to make a show that's gonna last long, I think.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
Mhm.
because being so one-sided is so tiring.
Well, the thing about yeah, I guess if there's no like, there's never a break from like what's going on.
Mhm.
It just keeps happening, and you never have any breathing space. Or the show doesn't have any breathing space. Basically,
Yeah.
that would yeah. I've never
I've been
watched that show all the way through. I've watched a bit. Like I understand the basic premise. I understand how
yeah.
it started, whatever. But like, yeah, no, I've never. And it wasn't even like I didn't want to keep watching. I just like
Mhm.
I was like, eh. Like I went through like like 7 or 8 episodes or whatever, and I'm like,
Yeah.
eh. And I'm like, maybe I'll do it another day. It was like, oh, it was good. I really liked
Mhm.
it. I'll watch it another one. Yeah, some other day, and it just that other day just never happened. It's not like some shows with me. Like some shows
Yeah,
really
it
hook
doesn't
me.
really it's like a slow burn where it
Oh, it
gets you.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, it tries to get you deep into like investing into it rather than like you can watch the first episode and be like, "Oh, that's interesting," and then start like it doesn't hook you immediately. It slowly gets you in with
Hmm.
like a ton of imagery and all that. And like I get that, and like I think the reason why I burned out is because this is supposed to happen throughout like weekly, right? Like this is a TV show, so this happens weekly. So you're
Right.
not
On
supposed to
the.
technically
It's
be
not.
binging it. And
Right.
yeah, and I binged it so hard, I just felt like Jesus Christ, too much drama, I cannot. And
Hmm.
so I stopped. But like again,
One
you have
hundred
to
percent
think
get that.
about that, right?
Yeah. But it
Hmm?
wasn't intended to be watched in one sitting.
Yeah, exactly. But I think now since like again going back to like business again is like streaming thing is a thing now. And
Yeah. The.
TV streamers and like not streamers like streaming services know this like know that like their audience is probably gonna binge stuff,
Yeah.
so I
They
think
do it
that
differently.
exactly they have changed the style of things now
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
like Breaking Bad started
In
I don't know when.
2006 or something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly, back then there was no streaming service, so it was
Yeah. You
like
watch it on AMC at No, no, 8 on Sunday nights, and that's it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Do that, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally the only thing. So they got like the people got breaks in that week to kind of
They're
get
like,
away from that grittiness.
see, and the good thing about primetime television is that when you do a weekly show and it's actually released weekly, and I know some streaming services do that where like they'll release one episode a week to do the
Hmm.
same kind of thing, like to kind of keep that tradition. The good
Yeah.
thing about it, right, is it allows you to think about that episode and it allows you to get excited for the next episode. Like you
Yeah,
get
not only
theories.
that, they
You're like, oh my
give
god.
breathing space for like other entertainers. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just like you say, theorists,
Yeah.
YouTubers, all those
You get a
people.
lot
So
of
yeah.
time like to think about the episode and it hypes up the next one even more.
Yeah.
Honestly, in my
I mean,
opinion.
it's weird, right? It's because it's like I know that a lot of no, because I most TV shows do it weekly, like even like on streaming services.
But you might
But
watch it like later when it's all already out.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, because or sometimes like these companies like it's not orthodox and they don't do this normally, but they would record all the episodes and then just plop it into the streaming service
They
and be
do
like, this is
that.
like
I think
binge one.
Netflix does that.
Yeah, Netflix definitely I feel like does that.
They
No,
just I
actually,
know they
Netflix do
do.
it. Netflix does it. I
I
feel
can
like
imagine
doesn't
like Amazon does or something.
Hulu does it, right? I think
I don't
Hulu
know
does
about
it.
Hulu.
I don't know. I don't know. But like I don't have Hulu, so I
I
don't know.
don't either. Yeah.
But I remember like there was like a binge thing that happened in Hulu, so I don't know. But yeah, so these company like TV show essentially has changed its style because not only are they gonna send it weekly, but they're thinking about the audience after everything has finished. So they're
Right.
not gonna like go all the way into one side of things. They're gonna kind of give breaks pretty much in those small episodes, like give like comedic relief or like relaxation. Because like if you watch Breaking Bad, the constant like drama or tension is that Walter White has cancer. So
Right.
like on baseline, you're already tense. Like you don't know when he's gonna die. And then throughout the story, there's always something happening. Like the drug lord died by accident. Then this drug lord took over his territory. Now these drug lords are gonna want to find Walter White. So like, there's no break.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even when like you have that like quote unquote break by like essentially he coming home and like talking to his family, like their family has tension as well. So there's no like time to breathe, and that like suffocates you.
Right. Yeah. No, you're 100% right. And like you said, and like we were saying, a lot of shows aren't designed for that. So
Hmm.
like they're designed for the weekly like time slot basically. And that's a philosophy that a lot of companies haven't really gotten around to like understanding that that's kind of a dead concept because of streaming.
Yeah.
And like some shows have done that like where it's basically like a 10 episode movie, right? Like The Mandalorian, for example, that's a 10 episode movie. It's a
Yeah.
continuous story. They don't really like go anywhere else with it. There's no like side episode, anything like that. It's a movie. It's continuous story straight through. It's basically designed to be watched in one sitting. Same thing with something like Netflix original series are also the same way, because they know that that's the way that people will consume that content. It's like when you're on a more traditional network TV show, like
Yeah.
on AMC or on CBS or NBC or whatever,
Yeah.
they're still operating under the weekly schedule model like idea.
Hmm.
So even if
Yeah.
they do plop it all on a streaming service at the same time, the writers are writing it as if it were to be weekly. That's really the thing.
Hmm. I think that's why I think streaming service in general really changed the way that these people think, right? Because like I don't know, I can binge watch Mandalorian because there's some break time. I don't know, it's not
Well,
so intense where it makes
yeah,
me feel
and it's
uncomfortable.
designed to be watched in one sitting. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like an actual film, essentially.
Yeah,
Like
it
there's
is. It basically
yeah,
is.
yeah. So I think there's because like I don't know, it's weird. I feel like it's because like specifically like shows that are made for like kids and like well not just kids but young adults like Mandalorian.
Uh huh.
There's less well there's obviously intensity but they don't dial it up to an 11.
No, no,
Just like
yeah,
yeah, Breaking Bad I feel like well I keep using Breaking Bad as an example because that's like a good example of like how gritty it can get, and like that one just dialed it to 11 in like the first episode, so it catches you
right.
off guard
Yeah, I
and
remember that.
hooks you in, but it also it's like a hit or miss. It's like somebody who likes drama is immediately going to be hooked in. Some people take a while to get into, and other people just feel like this is way too intense for the first episode and then they just stop watching.
Yeah. See, I think I don't want to keep comparing stuff to Lost, but it's on my mind now, and see, I think the way that they do it is really it is a good way to separate like the action that's going on in the present from the flashbacks, which are generally more mellow. Sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes, like depending on the character, it could be a past where there's a lot of action and crazy stuff going on in their in like their life before crashing, and what they're doing on the island is the complete opposite. So there's generally always a balance depending on what story they're trying to tell in that episode, um, between there being a more mellow part and a more action oriented part, and it could go either way, whether that's the flashback or the present. So I think that yeah, it works for the most part. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
I like how we're talking. We went from AMC business stuff, and then we have gone to TV show reviews.
Well, I mean, to be honest, right? Well, AMC they make The Walking Dead. They made Breaking Bad.
Mhm.
We're talking about those shows a
Wait, did
lot.
they make it or no? They
They
didn't like
made it.
another. Didn't
No, 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 no.
wait like originally they made it.
They originally, yeah,
Oh,
originally
that's
it's
crazy. I did
AMC.
not know that. I thought AMC just like bought it and then started making it.
Nope, it's there.
That's
I
cool.
mean, they picked it up. Whoever sent them like
Wait,
a
so then
pirate.
AMC like owns like so much then, right? Like they make and they dispense.
Yeah,
So they're like doing everything.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They make a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they own the
Cuz like
Walking
I
Dead
honestly
franchise
thought
alone, that's a big
yeah.
deal.
Yeah, it makes a ton of money.
hmm
Because like I thought what I thought was like this whole idea of the person who makes that TV show should stream it on their own app was like a new thing, like in this like this time period, or like because Disney, Hulu, well not Hulu, but like you know what I mean, where like there's these different companies started to make their own like pull away from Netflix and start
Right.
making their own streaming thing. I thought that was like a
CBS.
very yeah, I thought that was like a very new idea of like making your own thing and then start streaming it on your own. Because like
hmm
I did not know like AMC made uh this like Walking Dead and then dispense it through movies or through streaming services. I
Yeah,
didn't know.
and the thing is that AMC is very good about like they don't they're not very exclusive with their properties. Like they're
Mhm.
not like, oh, you can only watch The Walking Dead on AMC Premium or whatever. Now you can watch it on Netflix, sure, but the way they do
Oh,
it, they're
really?
like, if you want to watch on Netflix, that's fine, but we don't release like the newest season until the next season is already done. So if you're gonna watch it on
Okay.
Netflix, there's a bit you got a bit of a disadvantage. So you might want to consider, joining us because you'll be more up to date. But
Okay, that's smart.
yeah, and I mean,
Because
I'm
then
pretty
not
sure
only are they
all of Breaking Bad is on Netflix, but they're still making new Walking Dead. So
yeah. Because like you give an incentive for somebody to buy, so like you're not alienating anyone. Well,
hmm
you are, but like
in a
not to the
way,
degree
like
where you're cutting them off completely and you lose that revenue.
let's say they're on season I don't know 8 of The Walking Dead on Netflix, but they are on season 9 of The Walking Dead on AMC Plus Premium, whatever, and maybe they're on season 10 on TV. So you're pretty behind. But if you don't care about that, then fine, just stick with Netflix. But they're basically saying, if you like The Walking Dead and you want to be caught up, uh, that's great that you watched it through Netflix, but you might want to, subscribe to us because you'll be much more up to date.
Mhm.
Like it'll come to Netflix eventually, but we're not going to tell you when, and it could be a long time from now.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really smart idea because it's like it lets Netflix use that show to make money, but also that some of that money goes to AMC.
Hmm.
And also AMC is on top of that is marketing so that those people from Netflix will move over to AMC,
Right.
right? So it's kind of like
They're
that.
hooked. They
It
get
make
hooked on the show.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a really smart idea. It's like, oh, then the people that are using Netflix, yeah, will make some money off of you, and the few that think this is taking too long will buy it from us directly, making Netflix lose its customers, which is pretty smart because they're all competing against each other. Like
Yeah.
they're not all buddy buddy. They're all just trying to get to number one of who is the best streaming platform.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean Netflix is. I mean, there's a lot of memes on like how Netflix originals suck, but like you have Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that way? Like where like
Um.
all Netflix
No.
originals are like kind of
So
shit.
the thing about it, right, is Netflix. They're pretty opportunistic. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. I got what
They
you're saying.
they kind of take anything, like any pilot really, or any
Mhm.
script
Yeah,
for a
in
pilot.
Rick and Morty, they make a joke about that.
Yeah, they'll just take any script or pilot, and they're like, I mean, we have a lot of money. Let's just see what happens. Maybe it'll be big, and if it isn't, then fine. Yeah, you had your shot. It's good for you. It's out there. I mean, there are a lot of bad ones. There's more duds than diamonds, but like there are some. I mean, I guess they're debatably diamonds depending on who you are, but like there are some shows that have done incredibly well on Netflix. Some are very highly regarded. Some are very successful, critically or commercially, whatever. So you can't say that they're all bad. A lot of them are bad, sure. A lot of them are really, really like weird, or they
Yeah.
just they don't really work out that well when you actually put it into a visual medium. Maybe it would be like better as a book or something. Um, but like okay, I'm trying to think of like Netflix original series. I guess I mentioned Stranger Things. That's incredibly popular. Um, there's a lot of them. I mean, there's a lot of like very popular and successful Netflix series. Okay, let's look at some. Umbrella Academy, that was pretty popular. I watched that. That was good. Cobra Kai, that was really popular. I didn't watch that. Um, Love, Death, and Robots, that's pretty good. That's a very weird show, but
Yeah.
like oh, The Queen's Gambit, that was very critically acclaimed. I didn't watch it
Oh yeah,
though.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's a big one.
yeah, there's a lot. Dark was apparently very good. It was like a Dutch or a German series, I think. Uh,
Mhm.
that was really good. Apparently, some of them are like really bad. Don't get me wrong. Like, okay, 13 Reasons Why. I have so many just know about that show. That show shouldn't
Uh-huh.
have existed, but it does. And it critically, or not critically, commercially, at least the first couple seasons, I think, were fairly commercially successful. So yeah, it's debatable. The Haunting of Hill House, one of the best like series that's more of like a 10-part movie, but that is an absolutely fantastic series. Um,
Yeah.
Designated Survivor, yeah, well that was like an ABC show, but it was fine. Uh, I don't know. I'm looking on freaking Netflix. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of good stuff. There's more bad than good, but I cannot say that they're all bad. It's
Mhm.
pretty impossible to do that, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's I mean that I think that's why a lot of people overgeneralize where they're like, "Oh, it's so bad." It's because there's more bad than good. Like obviously, Netflix is gonna be more opportunistic like now because they used to be like the monopoly essentially of streaming services until now.
Yeah,
And
now
now
they're
they're
just
like,
kind of throwing enough at the wall and seeing what sticks.
yeah, exactly. They're freaking out. I mean, well, they're not freaking out, but yeah, they're worried. It's like, like what are, oh shit, like what are we gonna do?
Hmm.
Right? So, I mean, I get it. But also trying to let everything get past you, or let it like be green lit is so not only does it like, yeah, you survive, but you also lose a ton of money from the investment, and you're lowering your standards and your public image.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is 100% fair. It's
So
a
you lose, I feel like you lose more doing that than do you gain.
yeah, no, I would agree. It's incredibly risky, honestly,
Mhm.
and they probably should start like being smarter about what they do. Now, here's the thing, right? The good
Yeah.
thing about this is that there's a lot more. Like, I'm looking on Netflix, and there is a lot of like original content here. We're not seeing any new reboots or continuations of like crazy long running series. A lot of these are like one or two seasons and they're all completely new. They're like brand new ideas. And that's a lot for a lot of people. That's I think that's good because you get a lot of opportunities for someone who isn't already very established in the entertainment industry to get their big break. um,
Yeah.
so that's great. I think that it's important that we do have like a platform that will take in pretty well, not pretty much anything, but a lot like that is kind of loose with what they think is actually going to work or not. I
Hmm.
completely understand where you're coming from, and honestly, as far as like a business perspective, that should
Yeah.
be the way that they operate. I don't really
Yeah.
know why they don't, but it's good to
Because it's
know.
not
Go
hard
ahead.
to like, because not only like they're getting the idea and then the script.
Right.
So like
They read
read it.
it. Yeah, they right.
No, like read it. Like don't just like skim it and be like, this is a good idea. I think this will work, right? Like you gotta actually genuinely see if this is interesting, because like, yeah, it's not realistic because there's so many, things they have to
Like
keep up
there's a
with.
lot of applications, I'm sure.
Yeah, and a lot of application, a lot of factors to think about and like actors to get. But you gotta care for the things you make. Like you're throwing money at these like projects that are half baked, or just not even thought out properly. Like some idiot writer is gonna think like, oh, this idea is cool. Maybe I'll just make like this one specific interesting fact be the surrounding like idea of the entire story, right?
Yeah.
Like that's so dumb. Like Tenet essentially is like this like whole movie on like this historical writing that says like I think that it actually just says Tenet, and
Hmm.
apparently it's so like like it's mysterious, and it's like based off like history or something, and
Right.
it's based off of like this one word that he found like from archaeologists, I think, found it, and like he thought it was a really interesting idea and made this whole movie on this whole entire thing and just called it Tenet. It's a terrible movie, by the way. I watched it, so boring, didn't get it, and it's not interesting at all.
Right.
So that's the issue. You can't just find one interesting thing and then surround it with more stuff. That's like making a terrible flimsy foundation and then building your house upon it. It's gonna fall.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's
That's why you gotta read the script, man.
I think they need to read it and they need to think about okay, let's say they decide like okay, this is a cool concept. I think that this could work. You then have to think about okay, will this work applied to TV? Will this maybe be better as a movie? Is it gonna actually work when it's applied to like a more to a visual medium, or do you think okay, maybe this should just stick as something written, a book or an ebook? Maybe this isn't right for us in particular, as a company that streams things. Is this really a good script or is it a good story? And that's the problem. You know, because if it's not well written, but they're like, oh, this is a cool concept or a good
Yeah.
general story, they might still greenlight it, not really thinking, oh, well, this isn't really a great, script. It's not very well written. Maybe if
Yeah.
we talk to them and they're like, oh, well, we like the idea, but we're not a huge fan of like the writing style. Maybe, if you want to be the overall like story director, if you could get another writer who's maybe more professional or more this style, that style, whatever. Maybe we'll consider it. Like rewrite the pilot or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like yeah, they should because like some of it is very badly written on Netflix. Like the
Yeah.
dialogue is weird.
Yeah, I feel like because I'm assuming like normal like just anybody essentially can write a script and
anyone,
then just
anyone.
send it.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I think that's great, like giving an opportunity to these people. I'm assuming they get paid for this, right? They get paid?
if it gets greenlit.
Okay, yeah. So then, yeah, if it get, I mean, that pretty much means everyone
Well,
gets
I
paid.
don't think every. I think if I wrote a script into Netflix, I don't think it would be greenlit.
I mean, I don't know about that, man. You write a lot better than what I've seen from Netflix.
Well, I don't know.
Like, I mean, obviously you need time, and that's the key. A good writer needs time.
Sure.
Like, a good writer isn't gonna just shit out a novel like just in 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, no, of course not.
And that's the difference. It's like everyone can like even if you everyone in the world had the same level of writing,
Mm-hmm.
a good writer will make an amazing piece of like not piece of art like an essay or like a novel compared to a shitty retarded sorry I shouldn't use retarded, that's a very offensive word, but don't like you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
a lazy writer is gonna write like a terrible novel that's probably like 10 pages,
Mm-hmm.
and because you give more thought and more care to your writing, it makes it infinitely better.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's not because of you writing better. Like I mean, obviously that's part of it because of your care. But writing essentially is like art where like if you care for it, it'll look so much better. And that's why I feel like let's say it's a good idea, but like the person himself can't write well.
Right.
Then Netflix should have hired a better writer
To take the
to
concept
yeah,
and then
to
like
take the
okay,
concept and form it
right,
and
and
have
then
the original writer alongside
like
him.
as a
So like
consult, yeah.
exactly, be like, does this what you, is this what you mean? And be like, yes, that's what I mean. Then they'll change it. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's so much better than taking this good concept and then just translating it directly where like the dialogue is iffy or like the concept is a bit shoddy. Like you should be fixing it.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. That is one. That's how it should be. Um,
Dude, I should own Netflix.
good luck.
I mean, like, it also is like, I get there's a business side to these things, right? Where it's like, oh, we have to then hire more people, get more, like, but in the end,
You
the
spend a lot of
money
money
you,
producing the show that doesn't end up working.
yeah, that's more of a net loss than you making a good show. And let's say you did use, perhaps, like, you have a shitty movie, or I mean, not a movie, a TV show that you made, and it took you $1 million, and you only get $100,000 back. You dropped like so much money off of it. Like, let's say you invested $2 million, and then you got, let's say you got 1.5 million. Like yes, you made a. It's still like a lot of money lost, but it's better than the other situation, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It also increases your public image, which is something you can't like you can't use money to buy.
Yeah.
Like that comes from effort and like from caring about what you're producing. So yeah, I mean, honestly, Netflix needs to do better in their producing side of things.
Yeah.
Because like
And,
image wise, they're not. I mean, they're not like untouched by what they're doing, but they're still like a very big player in the
Oh
industry.
yeah, of course. I think they will be for a long time, honestly.
Yeah.
Just because of the brand name alone, and
Hmm.
like I have a lot of mixed feelings about streaming services because honestly, the way it's going is it's becoming cable too, because what basically what ends up
Oh yeah,
happening, right?
oh my God. Yeah.
Like I don't really want to get into
Disney
it.
does that too. Disney does that too.
Yeah, I
Where
don't
like
really.
because cable is expensive, but the
Hmm.
reason why cable is stupid and fucking annoying is because of it not only makes you pay for a lot more money, but it also like because the base amount, like let's say you have to pay $138 for just the base normal cable, right?
Yeah,
They like because I used to have cable for FiOS, like Verizon
yeah, yeah,
FiOS,
yeah, yeah.
and you pay like a ton of money for basic cable, and they block out channels, like the ones that I actually want to watch.
Right. Well, they want you to buy the package. That's the point. Yeah.
Exactly. And then they go like, "Well, you gotta buy the package, which is an additional $50 per month." And I'm like, that is so stupid. I'm already paying you $138 per month, which is not accurate, by the way. I just picked out a random number.
Yeah.
But what Disney Plus did was
Oh yeah.
they got Mulan out on Disney Plus and they made you pay on top of what you're already paying for the normal Disney Plus. And
Right.
some people actually bought that. And that movie itself,
What's
that's a whole
terrible?
it was terrible. That's a whole another
Not
can of
yeah,
worms.
not talking about that today. We can talk about
Yeah,
movies
we won't
next
be
week.
yeah, we're just gonna be talking about the additional pricing you have to do.
Yeah.
I don't have Disney Plus, but I had Disney Plus for a free trial. So I was able to binge a ton of things.
Hmm.
And I found like they have additional stuff which you have to pay. And I'm just like, that's stupid. But it's not as bad as Amazon Prime. Like holy
Oh
shit,
yeah,
Amazon.
it's like almost everything on there that you actually want to watch. It's like, oh well, it's actually included with this other thing, and you have to pay
No,
more money for it. I'm like,
I
wow.
actually want to die because like the only streaming service we have is Amazon Prime Video because we have Amazon Prime.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
The only movies that are available, I'm looking at my phone by the way, is B tier movies. They have Parks and Rec. That's a good one. That's like the only one that's like actually good that's on this streaming
Hmm.
service.
Yeah, I
And
was
then the other
looking.
ones like
Mhm.
The Boys,
Like
then
original series. That's different. Yeah.
yeah, like they're all like locked. Like why?
Actually, I don't know. They shouldn't be. They should be. I don't know.
No, they're all locked. The Boys is locked. The
That's very bizarre.
Invincible is also locked.
Are you like logged in?
Yeah, yeah, I'm
They
logged in.
shouldn't be actually. I don't know
No,
why.
they are, dude. I
That's weird.
swear to you, they are.
Like I know there's some where it's like they have it where it's part of another company's like streaming service, but you can do it through Amazon, but you still
No,
have to pay
like
the
no,
additional.
because like originals still get locked.
That's weird.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like I'll take a screenshot and show you later because my phone's about to die.
Hmm.
I'll show you later, but like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's original, and I'm paying you money. Why are you restricting me again? It makes no sense.
Yeah, that is a very good question actually. Um, what I was kind of getting at honestly was the idea
Yeah,
of right like you said, everything used to just be on Netflix, and it's like, oh wow, I only have to pay $10 a month to get like everything. That's great. That's such a great alternative to cable, and everyone was happy. The world was peaceful, and
except
then
now it's becoming cable.
well, yeah, because there's so many different streaming services, and everyone's taking their stuff off of Netflix. Like
Mhm.
ABC has a streaming service now, NBC, CBS, Paramount, uh, Discovery Plus. I know that one. Um, you got freaking
Isn't Discovery Plus on Disney Plus?
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no. Discovery that has like actually that has a lot of good shows. I mean, that's like a lot of like documentaries and stuff, and I like that stuff.
dude, I love documentaries. Honestly, I'm really thinking about getting Discovery Plus
It's
and
only
Disney Plus
see the
because
thing
they have
about
Nat Geo on it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, no, Nat Geo is Disney. Discovery is
Yeah,
Discovery
exactly.
Channel.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I want to get
Um,
those two.
Yeah, Discovery's like Discovery Channel. You get Travel Channel, whatever. I'm not gonna advertise them anymore. But yeah. So that like all of the cable channels, basically, or networks, in case of like ABC and NBC, they're all making their own services. All of them. We're getting more and more different streaming services, and they're all making their own exclusive content to that streaming
Yeah,
service. That's basically cable, right? Because
that is cable.
is
That's
literally
legit
cable.
cable.
And the thing is, when you start adding up the amount of money, like let's say you want the NBC, ABC, CBS, you want the Paramount, Discovery Plus, Disney Plus, which is already kind of expensive.
Mhm.
Um, you want Netflix, you want Hulu, you want Amazon Prime. It starts adding up. It becomes a lot of money, and some of them are more expensive than others. Some of them are not worth the money at all. But let's say you want like the basic stuff that you would end up getting in a cable package. It
Yeah.
starts becoming the same amount of money, and then you're just like, well,
Well, that's also because cable was like the only way to, watch things.
yeah. Well, the thing about cable
So
now,
that's why they pumped the freaking price up like
yeah, it
insane.
was. Well, the thing about cable
Your
now,
wait, hold on. Your mic was making a weird sound. You good now?
yeah.
Okay, no, because I heard like buzzing from your
Oh,
side.
yeah. The thing
Yeah.
about cable now is it's pretty cheap to get a basic package. It's like $55 or something.
Yeah. But like
Because
the
they
package
have to
it's
compete.
freaking is insane.
Well, they have to compete,
Well,
so that
yeah,
it's much
compete
cheaper.
with
The basic cable
because they
package
had
is
no
not.
competition back then. They just
Yeah,
made it insanely expensive because, streaming services wasn't a thing. But now streaming service is a thing and cable's trying to survive, so cable's dropping the price. But
yeah.
again, cable has
No,
no chance
no, no, no. I'm
because
not saying that's a better like thing to that like you should buy cable now. But what I'm saying is
no,
is that
yeah.
you're running into the same problem financially as uh, the biggest complaints with cable, which was that it was a lot of money, which it was. But now we're
Yeah.
running into the same problem because if you want to watch, let's live in the world where cable is dead, right? It's only streaming services. So if you want to watch the news, let's say you want to watch ABC News, you have to get the ABC streaming service. Oh, but you want to watch, Saturday Night Live. Oh, you gotta get the NBC one. Oh, well, I want to watch The Walking Dead. You gotta get the AMC one. It turns out it becomes the same problem.
Yeah. It's annoying. I
Yeah.
think cable like I think streaming companies forget the reason why streaming companies are so popular and they're starting to revert back into becoming a cable company.
Well, they realize like, oh wow, this actually makes a lot of money. Why weren't we doing this? Oh wait, that's
Yeah.
what we were trying to go against. Uh, money,
Yeah.
values.
I think that's gonna cycle through. It's gonna cycle all the time. It's gonna be like, oh, cable's dead, but we have streaming now.
No,
And
streaming
then
sucks.
streaming
It's
is
so expensive and it takes forever to
and then
load.
something else is gonna come and then more and more. Yeah, it's just gonna keep repeating itself. Because
Content will be digitally implanted
also
in your
the
mind.
reason why streaming, is better than cable essentially is because cable you need a giant goddamn like wire cable like cable itself
You
like
do need a cable, yeah.
you need a cable. Yeah, and it's like because they have to construct like this thing to go through underground, right? Which
uh,
is why
well, that
well
depends,
no,
but
I'm talking about
yeah.
like a while back. I'm not talking about now, but
Uh huh.
like they used to have like wires like going through like underground like
Well,
throughout
yes,
cable networks essentially.
that was the
But now
alternative to having a couple of antennas sticking off the top of your TV.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. But now obviously cable has evolved, but streaming is essentially like the evolution. It's the next evolution of what cable is.
Hmm.
It's cheaper.
Well,
It's well okay, no, as of now it's still cheaper.
yeah.
It is faster. It's more fair for now to the customer, and it's wireless.
And here's the big thing. Here's the thing that really puts it above the rest. No commercials.
Oh yeah, dude. Hell yeah. No commercials, dude.
Well, here's the thing about commercials, though. Some streaming services actually do. And the way they do it is you could pay, say $5 a month with ads, or you could pay $15 a month without ads. And that's the way they do it. That's how they keep ads alive.
Yeah. But I feel like, because like these commercial things, right? A lot of it is for like, products or
Companies,
for
products.
for other streaming companies. Because like if you look at I haven't seen cable in a while, but cable used to, when I'm watching like a sports game, like the commercial would be like, oh, another cable company, or like another, you should get this pack where like you can see more stuff, right? So they like essentially another company is advertising to buy more cable.
Uh huh.
So like it wouldn't, like, because now that there's more streaming services, they don't really need to do that because you already, bought the streaming service. So it's like you don't really need to add more packs.
I don't know what I usually see on cable as someone who watches it.
Yeah.
Sometimes is it's just a lot of like
Food.
infomercials. Yeah, you get your basic company commercials. You get like phone
I feel like
commercials,
I
whatever
feel like commercials are gonna start
products.
moving more into less, because like let's say cable does die, right?
Mm-hmm.
And streaming services stop, or like don't allow any commercials to be on their company, or their streaming app,
Okay.
which is unlikely. But let's say hypothetically that was to happen, they're gonna start, like, these commercials are gonna start being more prevalent in YouTube and Twitch, which is
Yeah.
already happening a lot, which
Yeah.
is which is good for, the YouTubers because they make more money that way. But yeah, it's getting annoying where it's like there's more ads converting from cable, which we were avoiding, like, forever, is now moving into places that we kind of gone into to avoid essentially the ads.
Yeah. Well, I use an ad blocker, but
Well, yeah, I mean,
not the
again,
point. Not the
yeah,
point.
not the point.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I always kind of think about this because like YouTube used to be like I don't really want to get to another conversation about YouTube or a conversation about it, but like yeah, it was kind of the Wild West, and I watch YouTube more than any streaming service or any of them combined by far.
Yeah,
So, um, but yeah, it's getting kind of rough with the amount of commercials that they think they can get away with.
hmm
It's kind of I feel like one of these
No,
days,
what my most hated ad, or
yeah.
yeah, ad is literally the mobile app ones. Those trigger me so much
Oh
because it's
yeah,
not even,
yeah.
dude, they're not accurate to what they actually are. Like,
And it's
is
always
this
the same
even
one.
legal?
Yeah, and it's always the same one over and over again. There's
It's like the
no
garden one.
variety.
You
Yeah,
remember that? It's the garden freaking thing where it's like they pretend it's like a puzzle game, but in reality, it's literally just bejeweled, but just more dumb.
yeah.
So yeah,
Anyway,
it's stupid.
anyway,
Yeah,
I think it's about time to wrap it up because we've been
yeah,
talking about this for a while.
yeah, yeah. We've
Uh,
been, yeah. So thank you guys for listening. And please subscribe. Cause we have no subscribers. It's bullshit. I swear to God. Tyler will show you. Just put a picture of our sub count and just start, like, have a crying soundtrack in the background because it is so sad.
okay,
We
I'll play
haven't.
the world's smallest violin.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, people that watch, I know you guys watch this. I want you to subscribe. God damn it! Show me that we like the progress we're making, please. And also, comment, do whatever, honestly. And yeah, see you guys in the next episode. Also, wait, I forgot to
Yeah.
say, gaming episode's gonna come out soon. I don't know when
Yes.
that's coming out. Tyler's dealing with that. But yeah, see you guys in the next episode.
See you guys then.